A man with nothing in his pockets walks into a room full of people who have everything. He does not own a car. He does not own a watch. He has no title. No office. No money. And yet, the room quiets when he speaks. People turn toward him. They laugh at his jokes. They remember his name. Something doesn't add up. Money can be counted. Status cannot. Money sits in a bank. Status sits in the minds of others. One is a number. The other is a signal. And the signal often matters more than the number. Visual: a man in an expensive suit sits alone at a bar. Nobody approaches. Across the room, someone in a plain t-shirt is surrounded by people laughing. Watch what people actually do. Not what they say they value. A billionaire flies coach to save money. A middle manager buys first class to feel important. The first has money. The second is buying status. But here is the strange part. The billionaire flying coach is not humble. He already knows his status. He does not need to prove it. The middle manager in first class is not foolish. He is investing in something real. Both are playing the same game. They just started at different levels. Visual: two men board the same plane. One turns left. One turns right. Both look satisfied. Money solves material problems. Status solves social problems. And social problems are often more painful than material ones. A man who loses his money feels poor. A man who loses his status feels erased. One is a change in circumstance. The other is a change in existence. There is a reason people will accept less money for a better title. There is a reason people will spend their last dollar on a jacket that signals belonging. There is a reason the richest man in the room will still check who has more followers. It is not greed. It is a hunger that money cannot feed. Visual: a man stands in front of a mirror. He adjusts his collar. He checks his phone. He adjusts his collar again. Watch how status operates in the wild. A waiter remembers a regular customer. A doorman nods at someone familiar. A stranger asks for directions from the person who looks confident. These are microtransactions of status. No money changes hands. But value is exchanged. The person who receives the nod, the recognition, the deference, they feel it. The person who is ignored, overlooked, dismissed, they feel that too. And here is the hidden pattern. Status is not a reward for success. Status is the original currency. Money is just a later invention that tried to replace it. Visual: a child draws a star on a piece of paper. He shows it to his mother. Her face lights up. The child beams. Before there was money, there was reputation. Before there were bank accounts, there were stories told about you around fires. Your status was your survival. Being respected meant being protected. Being ignored meant being vulnerable. Money was created to track value. But status was always tracking something deeper. Your place in the tribe. That ancient circuit never turned off. It just found new costumes. Visual: a man refreshes his social media feed. He watches the like count go up. His face changes with each number. Now here is the twist. Money can be hidden. Status cannot. You can be wealthy and nobody knows. You cannot be high status and nobody knows. Status requires witnesses. It requires a social audience. Without someone to see it, status does not exist. This is why people chase status even when they have money. Money is a private score. Status is a public one. And the human brain was built to care more about the public score. Visual: a man drives an expensive car through a city at night. The windows are tinted. Nobody can see him. He looks disappointed. Consider the person who buys a watch that costs a year's salary. They do not need to know the time. They own a phone. They own a computer. They own 3 other clocks in the same room. The watch is not for telling time. The watch is for telling others that you can afford not to care about time. It is a status signal disguised as a tool. And the person who wears it knows this. The person who sees it knows this. Everyone is participating in the same silent agreement. We pretend the object has utility. We both know it does not. Visual, a close-up of a wrist. A watch face. Then a wider shot. The person is alone in an elevator. The watch faces nobody. But here is the deepest layer. Status is not about being above others. Status is about not being below. The fear of losing status is stronger than the desire to gain it. Humans will sacrifice money, comfort, even safety to avoid the drop. A man will stay in a job he hates rather than face the shame of unemployment. A woman will remain in a social group that drains her rather than risk being excluded. The pain of falling is greater than the pleasure of rising. This is why status games persist. They are not powered by ambition. They are powered by fear. Visual, a crowded party. One person stands near the exit. They smile. Their eyes are scanning. They are not having fun. And this reveals something strange about money. Money can protect you from material poverty. It cannot protect you from status anxiety. The richest people in the world still compare themselves to other rich people. The most famous people still worry about being forgotten. There is no amount of money that makes you immune to the opinion of others. Because the opinion of others was never about money. It was always about survival. And your brain still thinks it is. Visual, a man sits at a long table in an empty boardroom. He is the only person there. He looks at the empty chairs as if they are judging him. So what is actually happening when someone chases status? They are not being vain. They are not being shallow. They are responding to a signal that has been running for hundreds of thousands of years. The same signal that told your ancestors, you matter here. You belong here. You will not be left behind. Money is a recent invention. Status is ancient. And ancient always wins. Visual, a group of people walk through a city. One walks slightly ahead. The others adjust their pace to match. Nobody notices they are doing it. The man with nothing in his pockets but the attention of the room understands something. He does not need money to have status. He only needs to be seen. To be remembered. To matter in the minds of others. That is the real currency. And it cannot be bought. It can only be given. Visual, the man from the opening scene walks out of the room. Heads turn to watch him leave. He does not look back.